people were expecting pretty much the same exact palette as the original one in terms of quality, and that is not what happened. Now, I think that everyone loves a good drugstore alternative, and for these to release, they were already kind of set up for success, but they were really polarizing as well because a lot of people loved them, a lot of people hated them, and there was just a lot of back and forth. Breaking out, it's because the product is not good, don't make excuses, she doesn't have a full line of foundation, powders, bronzer, etc. It's very limited. They break out because it sucks.
Please don't piss me off on this beautiful afternoon.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about part 2 of the viral makeup launches from 2025. In part 1, if you guys missed it, we talked all about the viral makeup launches from January through June. I chose one viral product from each month, and we kind of talked about the rise of the products, the marketing of the products, how they became controversial or viral or both, and where they are now. So today we are going to be doing July through November because I don't have one for December. I just don't really feel like there's been anything that has become quote unquote viral yet. So we're just going to go ahead and skip this month, but it has been really interesting to see the life cycle of these viral products because viral today does not mean the same thing that it did 5 years ago. So firstly, I want to cover what viral means in terms of this video, and I guess just in modern day, because viral today does not mean what it used to mean like 5 years ago. We see products come and go and they are called viral really for no other reason other than the marketing that they get. So according to the Marketing Business Network, viral marketing is a strategy that uses social media and online groups to quickly spread information about a product or a service. So the term viral comes from this idea of fast and wide-reaching spread. Put simply, viral marketing starts a chain reaction where people share the content with other people who then go on to share that content, quickly increasing awareness and interest through the internet. So really what we're looking at here is organic spread, highly shareable content, and cost-effective campaigns or marketing. Now, with that being said, we have seen a couple of products that haven't quite organically rose to virality, and we're going to be seeing that in this video as well. And I'm going to cover why I think it is different and why I think it actually plays a role in how these products kind of go through the beauty community. And I do want to preface that just because a product is popular doesn't necessarily mean it's good, and just because a product is not geared towards you doesn't mean that it's not good. So like I said, I've been keeping a running list all year. I've been typing out at the end of the year all of the products that have gotten a lot of popularity, and then at the end of this year I went back in and I looked at all the products and I chose one product from each month that I would consider the most viral out of the products that launched that month. And we're going to be using TikToks because TikTok is well known for creating a lot of buzz around beauty products, and it really is where the marketing lies these days. I would say that virality really did change with TikTok, and we can really see that with a lot of these videos. All right, so I have my phone here right next to me, and we're going to start off with July. In July, I think we saw a very, very big organic push for these products, and these are going to be the Danessa Myricks Colorfix sticks. Super quick, super easy, teases the products, makes people excited about it. I love a little teaser like this whenever brands are promoting their new products. So right off the bat, it looks colorful, it looks punchy, it looks like a different texture than what we normally have. And Danessa Myricks, the brand, as well as the person, has a really loyal following. So anything that they release is very exciting. Okay, let's watch another one. And this time they show a little bit more of each product. Okay, so we saw all of the products swatched here. They are clear. You can see everything really well. And then you get the blurred video where you can see a lot more of the sparkle, and everything about this just looks incredible. I think it was really exciting coming off of the back of no makeup launches for the beginning half of the year. We are getting a lot of punchy pigmented color, which was really exciting. So let's read off real quick the description of these. So these are a multi-use pearl pigment stick with a refreshing water burst featuring a magnetic mix and match freedom system. They introduced this freedom system with the Lightwork 6 palette last year. They released it at the end of last year, and it was a limited palette, but it was part of the freedom system. And essentially that is where things are magnetic, things can stick together, you can kind of mix and match and stuff, and this did do that as well. This was exciting because of, one, like I said, the packaging was really interesting and felt innovative. Also, the sensorial experience of these was really interesting. They kind of feel like water, very cooling on the eyes before they dry down, and they gave a long-lasting pigment. Now let's talk about the controversy and virality of these. As a spoiler, you guys, it's mainly how they became viral, because the mass of people that were trying these out really liked them, me included.
Danessa Myricks. I have a few words. She just came out with these Colorfix multi-use pigment sticks that are double-sided. I need it. 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 I have it. I'm gonna put it on. Oh my God, I don't know which one.
Okay, that's exactly how I felt. It's so funny because I feel like everyone had the same reaction.
These are heavy duty. I was like, what is in this? It's way bigger than I thought. Okay, so this is the foil side and this is the metallic side. This is the shade Duo 5. Ooh, it's so soft, so soft. Okay, there's just like a beautiful soft sheen on the lid. Now I'm gonna lather this side on top of this eye so you can see the difference with the foil stacked on top. It glides so smooth. I've never used a foil eyeshadow that was this easy to apply. I wanna drag this up. Oh my. Oh, this side is just the metallic and this one is the metallic with the foil stacked on. I love it, guys. That's blinding. These are no joke. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and darken up the outer part of the eye and finish up the makeup. They're not crumbling, they're not budging. It's just seamlessly blending into these shimmers. And I have never used a foil or anything that I was able to blend into seamlessly without damaging or crumbling the foil. Here is the finished look. And you guys, these things right here, these things, oh, I'm obsessed. They look stunning.
Okay, there you go. You guys can see how excited she was. And when it comes to short form videos, or really any videos talking about products these days, I understand how what's a good term for this? How kind of exhausting it is to be sold left and right. You have to get this. This is the best thing. This is something I love. It's my favorite. I'm obsessed. I can get burnt out by that as well. And it makes you a little bit more hesitant to believe someone when they say everything that releases is their new favorite product. However, I will say that sometimes I can tell when it's genuine excitement for a product. And I feel like she genuinely feels excited for these products, which then in turn makes your audience more excited for it as well. I don't know if you guys are getting that as well, but that's just how I'm reading this video. So in the comments, someone said she's making it easy for us non-eyeshadow girlies, which absolutely is the case, because these themselves, the duos, can create an entire eye look with just the two shadow products, and it looks gorgeous. Someone said cries with hooded eyes. Okay, fair, but also I have smaller eyelids and these are gorgeous. Like, they look so good on everyone that I've seen them on. My bank account did not need to see this right now. Okay, these are expensive when you look at the price tag. I think they're $42 and that's expensive, but if you break it down, you do get two different eyeshadow products. So it's $21. Still expensive for sure. But I will tell you that if you're looking for something that is not like everything else on the market, it really is very exciting and different than anything that you're going to see at Sephora. I feel like Danessa Myricks is very much parallel with indie makeup brands in terms of color, in terms of texture and quality, and just bringing innovation. So I feel like you're kind of paying for that as well as this freedom system, because of the packaging. It is so different. So in this next video, she's outlining the packaging. So let's look at this.
Let's talk about it. These are the new Danessa Myricks Colorfix sticks. I have worn this a few times since it was released, and whenever I do, I always get compliments. Let's talk logistics first. These retail for $38, but it is dual-ended. You get a metallic side.
Okay, sorry, $38, not $42. Still expensive though.
And a foil side. These do come with little caps that go on top of the eyeshadow stick. Highly recommend keeping them on there. This is what the full
side note, you can keep those little plastic caps, but I did see Danessa Myricks and her team say that you don't have to keep them because the actual packaging is airtight. I have not kept mine for I think like 2 of my duos, and they're fine. They're still really creamy. They work well. I don't know how they'll be in like a year, but yeah.
What it looks like, and watch this. You can said it before and I'll say it again, Danessa Myricks Beauty is one of the most innovative makeup brands on the market right now. I normally am not a big fan of eyeshadow sticks, but these are something else. They have this cooling sensation that feels really nice when you apply it. It feels wet almost, but it's not. Using the foil from Duo 6 on the inner corners, and this is the foil from Duo 5. Personally, I love using my fingers to blend this out, and they do not budge.
They do definitely dry down, but I will say with a long day of wear, like 12 plus hours, I personally get a little bit of creasing right there in the inside if I don't use a primer, but you really can't tell with the textures of these. But I do notice a little bit of creasing only in that area, if you guys were curious. Okay, people in the comments, they are excited about them. Someone said, I feel influenced. Someone said, OMG, metallics and foils. The packaging Danessa never disappoints. They're stunning. OMG, I want to try so bad. Overwhelmingly positive reviews so far, and I would say still. Okay, let's watch one more here.
These eyeshadow sticks got me gagging. Danessa Myricks came out with brand new products, and I've been seeing it everywhere. These are essentially duo eyeshadow sticks. Oh my Jesus. That is ultra reflective. This is the metallic side. I'm gonna put the metallic one first and see. Oh my gosh, that feels like water, like feels like butter. And that pigment, oh, look at that. It doesn't even feel like a cream. It almost feels like a powder. It dries into a powder, but it doesn't feel dry. That just created a soft, smoky eye. Are you kidding? Let's try out the foil on. Are we ready? Am I ready? I don't know. I'm speechless. That is insanity. Oh my God. What shade is this? This is a duo number 6. I need this on my eyes immediately right now. Please, thank you. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. That is so magical. There's also a plum shade. Every freaking shade is beautiful. I also heard this formula is transfer proof. Let's see. It didn't move. This is an eyeshadow. This is a personality trait, darling.
That was such a fun video to watch. Oh my gosh. People in the comments, again, are just really excited about these products. As you can see, overwhelming positive reviews on these. The only things that I had ever seen about these were, one, the cost, and also the fact that you have to get them in duos. You can only purchase them currently in a duo for $38, and you have to get a metallic and a foil together. I won't be surprised, honestly, if they do start to sell these separately though, like at least on their website, which I think personally would be really ideal. I do expect to see some sort of expansion with the shades as well, so that would be really exciting. But I think that this was a really great core launch because everyone was super excited to see this. And again, I think everyone was just really excited about the innovation of it. It delivered exactly what it was supposed to. And I know that some people like the foils more, like the metallics more. Personally, I love the foils. I think that they are so gorgeous and like really punchy on the eyes, but I have no regrets for the ones that I did buy. Okay, so where are these now? Honestly, people are still loving these. It feels like they just released, but looking at it now and seeing that they released at the beginning of July, I'm like, wow, where has the time gone? But they're still being purchased. I saw a lot of people buying them during the Sephora sale, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, because they were included in the Danessa Myricks sales as well for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And I've been seeing people just purchasing them without any sort of sale, which to me is kind of like a sign that a product is good. It's worth it, especially at a price tag like this. I think that these are incredible. I think that they are user-friendly, like someone said in the comments. It really allows you to do an entire eye makeup look with just one product. They're very no fuss. They're easy to blend out, but once they are dried down, they're pretty dried down. They have high impact. I think that these were just kind of like a breath of fresh air from no makeup for a lot of people. And personally, I really can't wait to see an extension because I feel like there's no way that this product did not earn that for them. Moving on to August. So in August, this one was really exciting because we finally saw a very viral dupe for a high-end brand that already went viral. So we are talking about the NYX Lip Lingerie lip stains. So let's take a look at these products.
These lip liner stains are going nowhere. Look at that. NYX Cosmetics just launched their brand new Lip Lingerie lip liner stain, and I'm going to show you my top 5 favorite shades because there's 12 to pick from. So once you place them, that is it. They are not going to budge. The main thing is, do you see that tip? Just make sure that when you apply this, your lips are absolutely bare. It's going to stain your lips. You just place it and you are good to go. So let me show you my top 5 shades because there are 12. So hopefully this helps you out. Barely There is a peach nude. Cuff Me is a rose pink, and that is the shade that I'm currently wearing. Number 1 favorite shade is Said Nudes, and this is a rosewood. This looks so beautiful with clear, pinks, nudes. It's amazing. Naughty Nude is a warm nude. And then my last one is After Hours, and this is a warm rose. They're not gonna go anywhere. It is insane. Even these ones, and the tip is just so good. I'm telling you, I'm gonna link them down below.
I love Lizzie. I used to watch her YouTube videos all the time. But you can see here, this is a sponsorship, I think, because it says NYX Cosmetics partner. So either she got these gifted or she's being paid to do this video. So this is going to be an example of non-organic virality in this case. NYX did get a lot of videos that were organic talking about these products because realistically, NYX gets a lot of publicity whenever they release a new product. Not as much this year as they did like previous years because some of the launches have been kind of weird, but for the most part, when it's something that is similar to a drugstore or a high-end product, they do get a lot of real buzz. Let's look at another video.
Cuff Me, Send Nudes, After Hours, Naughty Nude, Barely There, Steamy Spice, Up to No Good, Wild Side. These do not budge. They do not go anywhere. They're so long lasting. They're only on TikTok Shop and they're only $12.
So that was just a swatch video there for you guys to see. Now let's talk about how these became so viral and also some people's gripes with them. I would say that they were already kind of geared towards becoming really popular because as you guys can see, they are very similar to the Huda Beauty lip stain pens. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. CoverGirl did this a long time ago, and that is true. There's also Palladio, there's also Kiko Milano. Now, I think that everyone loves a good drugstore alternative, and for these to release, they were already kind of set up for success because they were released right after the Huda lip stains. So I think it was 1 month, a month, 2 months maybe, that these released. And Huda's lip stains, as we talked about in the last video, they were really popular, but they were really polarizing as well because a lot of people loved them, a lot of people hated them, and there was just a lot of back and forth on whether or not these were good products. So enter NYX, they come in, it's at a drugstore price point, and they delivered pinks, they delivered pinky browns, and they delivered browns and like nude shades, which Huda herself said is really hard to make. So everyone was pretty impressed, and I think that caused a lot of buzz. Okay, so now let's talk about the controversy on these and how they became even more viral as well. So some people were noticing some unequal pigmentation. I think it's interesting where people are like, oh, storing it upside down is a downside. I guess it's not necessarily about storing it upside down. It is about not being able to carry it around with you like in your purse or have it sitting on your desk or anything. Like it has to be upright upside down. So I get it when people are upset about that part of it. Personally, for me, I don't really mind because all of my lip liners go into a pencil cup anyways, and I'll just like flip it over and then it's fine. But the applicator, the ball tip applicator, for myself, I don't like it. And this next video, she talks about the applicator.
I got my hands on these new, what are they called?
By the way, this video, and it says here, a very chaotic first impression. And this video is chaotic and it's so funny, but I still think she gets the point across really well.
NYX Professional Lip Lingerie. I don't know why it's called lip lingerie. Like, what the hell has lingerie got to do with this? Okay, let's actually see what this is giving on the lips. Yeah, this is the shade Lip Lock. As I give up. I got this far and like also my camera keeps dropping and now I've only just got these, but I feel like this is kind of a little bit too dry. Like it's not, I don't know, it's not coming out as easily. Oh my God, this is chaos. Look, oh, what the fuck? Everyone's saying that this is so good and like such an easy applicator. I'm actually going to disagree. I don't like it. It's just literally dried up. Like, I've literally just received these. What is happening? God. It's giving Huda. Like, it's not going on smoothly.
Okay, so that's essentially how the video goes. She doesn't like the applicator, and people in the comments are agreeing. So someone said, I was tempted to get these because of all the hype and seeing they had some cool tone choices, but I'm glad I restrained myself. I watched someone who works in product development talk about how the tip of the pen isn't designed for being used on lips because it's likely to clog when it mixes with the natural oils or products we're using on our lips already. So that's really interesting. When people are saying like this product is already dry, with the Huda lip stains and these NYX lip stains, I don't necessarily think it's the product that has dried up. I think it is the applicator that has dried up, and that is the reason why you have to store them upside down, because that's how you get all the ink through the well and into the applicator. And obviously as you're using it, the longer it takes you, or you know how much product you're actually applying, it's going to vary for everybody. It does have the potential of not having enough product in that applicator as you're using it. So best case scenario, you can just cap it, hold it upside down for a little bit, maybe shake it a little, and then start reapplying again. But you know, I get why that could be really annoying, because all you want to do is put your lip liner on and then be done with it. Someone else said, it's not just you, it was awful, one use and fit for the bin. Thank God it's not just me. So a lot of people have had a similar experience. I also agree that the applicator is just not my favorite. I do think that the ball tip was made to make the application more precise and even, but it's already a very thin, very flexible felt tip. So I don't see the reason for the ball tip. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And obviously, because this is so similar to the products that came out from Huda just a couple months before, we were seeing a lot of talk about these being a Huda dupe. So let's watch a video from the Lipstick Lesbians, who again, they create a lot of very educational content because she does have experience and has worked in the industry creating products or product development for a very long time.
Here's the deal. The reason that we are here is not just because Huda launched this, because of a brand called Sachu, who went TikTok viral for the peel-off stain. They popped this off on the market, and now people want the staining style power around their lips. You see it hit the luxury market first, where Huda Beauty did her take on it. And now, for a significantly lower price, half the money, $12, you can get it from NYX? The answer is yes. It's similar to Huda's, except NYX has just selected this ball tip applicator. When it flows through with the ball tip, you can have a little bit more precision in the Cupid's bow. It bends more. See the bending?
Yeah, I love that.
So like I said, NYX and Huda both took the liner stain idea and then put their own spin on it. I think that it was really interesting to kind of compare the two because they came out again so close to each other and they had very different price points. Let's watch another one about the applicator just so you guys can see a little bit more.
These are my honest thoughts on the NYX lip liner stains. I'm gonna just cut to the chase. I did not like these at all. It wasn't for me. Here is what really bothered me about this product. So you could see the tip has that tiny little ball point allowing for a precise application. That is the selling point of the product. You can see here, in order to get pigment, I have to press down on this, making that tip basically useless. So it doesn't matter if this is a...
That is also what I've noticed too. I like to use the length of the entire lip stain felt applicator versus just the ball tip, because the ball tip will either dry out or just not give me a thick enough line.
If I were to go, let's say this is my lip shape and I want to do the Cupid's bow, look at how much pigment is coming out from just using the round part of that. Literally no pigment is coming out. Here I go. I'm going in. No pigment is coming out. In order to get pigment, I have to press it down. And I'm not going to be doing that on my lips if I want a precise line, especially since it's a lip liner.
So yeah, definitely seems like it was more of a common experience. So where are these now? So for those that still love long wear stain, I think that they're still being used. Personally, I'm still using mine a lot. I like to use mine to kind of overline a little, kind of create like a shadow on my lips, or if I use it on my actual lips, I will go in sections and blur it out, and they are super long lasting. I feel like they're very long lasting and I like the colors of them, but I do find that once they're applied on the lips, they do oxidize just a little bit. Even though I don't like the applicator, I've figured out how to use them and make them work for me. And not only that, not just trying to get it to look good, I do enjoy how long wearing these are. I think that they're still popular because people are always looking for an alternative to a more expensive product. So these just like naturally have a longer shelf life, if you will, because they are drugstore. To buy into it, to try this type of product isn't as bad as going for something like the Huda lip stain pens. And I do think there are some significant differences with those, but I think that they'll serve the same purpose. For September, it's not necessarily one product, but more so a launch in Sephora. And we're talking about Rhode being available at Sephora stores starting in September. So Rhode decided to finally hit Sephora stores, and this was really exciting for a lot of people because it meant that people could swatch and feel products and textures in person. They could look at the shades in person as well. They could really understand these products before buying into them, because returning online isn't always the easiest, I'll be honest with you guys. And a lot of people just don't want to return in general. So this was a great way for many more people to experience Rhode. I remember on launch day, I saw so many videos of people filming at Sephora stores, not necessarily of the Rhode display, but like how many people were waiting to get their hands on products. Now, because this was a new brand to Sephora, so many people were getting their hands on them, and with that we were getting an influx on reviews and first impressions and stuff, and lots of people loved them and lots of people didn't love them. I want to show you guys someone trying these for the first time, like the products from Rhode for the first time.
Let's try two of the products that I got from Rhode yesterday. Oh my gosh. This is gorgeous.
So pretty on her.
It complements my skin tone so good. It's kind of subtle, but it gives you such a pretty, like, look. Oh my gosh. Okay, why am I shouting? Sorry.
Girl, I've been there. When I get really excited about a product and I start getting louder, I'm like, I need to calm down.
Let's try on the lip contour. Guys, like, I'm like rethinking my life and I'm like, why didn't I get these sooner? Final look. It's so pretty.
She looks so pretty, and I was excited for her because she was so excited. This is, I think, everyone's ideal experience when they picked up all of their Rhode products, because they're super excited and they really wanted to experience it for themselves. And I think because Rhode had been out for 3.5 years now, only online, like exclusively online, a lot of people that didn't want to purchase online were finally getting to try these products, so their hopes were really high with this. But of course, with a very big launch of an entire brand, we are not going to get away from controversy. So let's watch this video from James Welsh where he's kind of talking about Rhode coming to Sephora and what that might mean.
Has Sephora ruined Rhode? Rhode used to be the epitome of skincare drop culture. Everything sold out in minutes, the waiting lists were crazy, and half the hype and half the interest came from the fact that you couldn't buy these products. It felt like it was next to impossible to actually get your hands on them. But now that Rhode are in Sephora, I would presume that's completely changed. For years, I feel like the brand kind of had this really like cool exclusive mystique around it. You know, they drop these limited drops and then even more limited restocks, and it really made people desperate to get their hands on their products, and it worked. It did work. It made Rhode super popular and almost feel like a collector's item. But Sephora shelves don't work like that. Sephora doesn't like that. They need constant stock to sell. They want to see fully merchandised and well-stocked displays and shelves. And I've been thinking about this recently. If Rhode is suddenly everywhere, all the time, fully stocked, does that lose one of the main things, in my opinion, that made it kind of special in the first place? Obviously, being sold in Sephora makes Rhode way more accessible. People here in the UK are finally getting Rhode for the very first time. But in turn, is that kind of killing the exclusivity that almost built the brand in the first place? What do you think? Do you think Sephora is going to help Rhode in the long run? I mean, it could only be good, right? Or has it ruined the hype that made it so popular? Are things gonna die down now? I really respect Rhode as a skincare brand and even Hailey Bieber as a founder, but I do feel like we're going to see the hype kind of quieten down. Not necessarily in a bad way though. What do you think?
Okay, so people in the comments, someone said, I've always thought that exclusivity in the skincare space is kind of pointless. TBH, it turned me off completely from the brand because if I can't consistently purchase the product to fit it in my routine, then I don't want them. Makes complete and total sense there. Someone else said, yes, because Rhode is not really that good. People don't buy for its quality. They buy it as an accessory and false symbol status. And James commented with tea. So, I mean, I agree. That is a hot take, and I don't think it's completely wrong. Personally, for me, I do think that it lost a lot of its mystery and intrigue, kind of like what James was saying. Rhode is one of those brands that sells an idea, not just a product. You know what I'm saying? Like, they sold the cool girl aesthetic, the clean girl aesthetic, the Hailey Bieber aesthetic, essentially. And now people can get their hands on it and everyone can get it, so it no longer feels exclusive. And of course, I don't agree with that thought process. I don't think that your skincare or your makeup or whatever means that you are exclusive, you're better than anybody else. If Rhode is doing this purposefully, like they're going at it in a marketing sense where they're selling an idea, it's not really gonna work for them in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to have to come out with more interesting products, or they're going to, I don't know, have to kind of like change things up a bit. But I think where they might have decided, okay, now is the time to go into Sephora stores, was where they decided that they had a loyal fan base. So they have people that are ride or die for their lip peptide treatment things. I don't like them. I haven't tried the new formulation. Maybe they're better now. People love the pocket blushes. People love the lip shapes. So people are going to come back and probably repurchase these things. I think that's kind of what they're banking on. Now let's talk about the issues that we were seeing. This is really interesting to me. Let's get into this first video and then we'll kind of like talk about it.
So why are people returning Rhode to Sephora after just launching last week? They have fallen into the hype of Rhode, and honestly, I do like this product. The reason why people are returning Rhode is because they say they're breaking out, it's not working for their skin, they're getting this and that and the other. One thing that people don't understand when it comes to skincare is you don't want to overwhelm your skin with a whole new routine right off the bat. Introducing new products into your routine, because your skin can get overwhelmed. And when your skin gets overwhelmed, it breaks out. So if people are buying the whole new Rhode routine, your skin is going to break out because it's overwhelmed. You're putting too many new products, introducing too many new products into your routine, therefore your skin is going to be like, oh, what's going on? So if you have tried Rhode and you have broken out, it's probably because you tried the whole entire line. Or
yes, this is a very, very good point. If you're going to introduce any new skincare, you have to do it one at a time and leave a couple of weeks in between each new product to really pinpoint how that product is doing for you. And if there is any irritation, you know right off the bat what is causing that. It is never a good idea to introduce an entire new skincare routine at one go. It just, your skin can freak out. That's just the nature of it. Someone said in the comments, it's like they forget skincare isn't one size fit for all. I feel like with skincare, it is very, very customizable to each person, way more customizable to like makeup, you know? Someone said if they're breaking out, it's because the product is not good. Don't make excuses. She doesn't have a full line of foundation, powders, bronzer, etc. It's very limited. They break out because it sucks. I don't think that's necessarily why. I think that people forget that this is skincare. It's not just a fun new makeup product and it can irritate your skin. Someone said, well, there's definitely a pattern. It's obvious that these products are not suitable for oily or combination acne prone skin. Only people with normal to dry skin seem to have no complaints. It's false advertising to claim they're for all skin types. Again, not like yes, but also no. Like there are products that are not intended for my skin type, which is oily and acne prone, but I can still use them with a lot of success. It really is just based on that person, because even if you have oily skin, it may not react the same to your friend who has oily skin. It's very, very different. I do feel like some of the hype overshadowed our skincare needs and our thinking about skincare logically. You know what I'm saying? It felt more like someone said an accessory, kind of like makeup, where you could just try it and have no repercussions. Okay, let's watch another video where someone is talking about finally trying these products from Rhode and feeling like it was overhyped.
Unfortunately, I have made the decision to return my Rhode lip tints. I make it a complete priority to be honest with you guys, and I spent my money to try these, and honestly, I want my money back. Before I get any hate in my comments from the Rhode lovers, I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong with these products. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying that they're ugly. They just weren't special. For $20 each, $60 total, I just found myself really underwhelmed by these. Like, they were fine, but I was expecting better. But considering these are pigmented, there was just no wow factor to them. I think what I'm realizing is that yes, it is a nice product, but I don't think it's worth spending my money on.
She did this really, really well, I think, and she explained it really well. There's nothing wrong with the product. She's not saying it's not a good product, but it was just generally overhyped. It's nothing special, you know? If it works for you, then it works for you. At the end of the day, this is a lip balm. If it hydrates your skin, your lips, if it softens your lips, if it gives you that cushiony, good feeling that you're looking for, then that means it works. An added bonus if you just love the colors and stuff. So people in the comments are saying it's basic AF. Not sure why people are going crazy for this dollar store crap. I mean, at the end of the day, this is very popular because of the brand and the person behind the brand. Someone says, bought it and taking it back. Meh, it feels a little gritty. That's interesting because I heard they reformulated these and my issue was that they were gritty. So I guess some of them are still kind of gritty. Where is Rhode now in terms of being in Sephora? So with all things considered, they're still doing pretty well. People are still interested. I don't think people are sprinting to the display anymore though. I don't think anyone's lining up to get in front of the display and swatch everything madly. I think we're kind of over that phase. I think that they are going to do pretty well in Sephora stores. I don't think that they're going to be making record numbers month after month like they did that first month, but I do feel like they're going to have a long lifespan in Sephora. Here's one that I was really looking forward to talking about. We are going into October, and for October, obviously, we have to talk about the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature Palette. This is one of the products that I think garnered organic virality for maybe not the most positive reasons. So let's look at their intro video and teaser video. Palette looks stunning. She looks stunning. The eye look at the end looks super sparkly and ethereal. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This palette is part of the Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette collection. So this is the third installment of the Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palettes. The first one was released in 2022, and then they re-released it as a limited run in October 2023. And I feel like that's kind of where we're sitting now. Everyone wishes that they could still go back and get that original palette. People really love these palettes because the shadows were buttery smooth. They really blended well. The shimmers are these baseless shimmers, so they have a very, very light pigmentation behind them, and they're mostly just that pigment, that glitter. So they give this twinkly, ethereal effect on the eyes. And it was limited, so of course it felt really exclusive to people. People were expecting pretty much the same exact palette as the original one in terms of quality, but just different shades. And that is not what happened. unspoken. So let's talk about the controversy behind this one. Okay, so this creator is saying that the sparkles were not intense enough.
Please don't piss me off on this beautiful afternoon. Got the new Mario Ethereal palette, the nature one. I've had it for a little while now, but I've been seeing a lot of reviews and they're just saying that it's lackluster.
I will say the color story on its own, just looking at it, it looks gorgeous. It looks so beautiful and very enticing.
It's starting off with this super light color. It's like a pinky glittery color. That is the lightest shade in the palette. Let's go in this pretty. Next. Ooh, next. Big difference? No, it does not. I'm not into this and I want this to pop more, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try this olivey color on the other eye just to see. This one is still faint. I don't know, I was so excited for my first Mario palette and it's kind of whatever to me.
So you guys saw that she wasn't a huge fan of the palette. So in the comments, people are saying he should have priced it much lower. 110 Canadian plus tax is wild. That is wild. That's so expensive. Someone said, you know what? I don't need that palette after all. Thank you, queen. Someone else said the glitters are not as intense as the previous two palettes. They feel drier and not as buttery. I don't have the second one that was released, so I can't say for certain how that one compared to the original. But I would assume since this one had so much talk around the formulation being so different, I would assume that it's different from the first two. I'm curious to see, like, I'm still wondering why that is, you know? Let's watch a video here where she talks about and swatches the formula differences here.
There's rumors that the formula for the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature palette is not as good as the original. And luckily I have both, so I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of their most similar shades to put that to the test. We're gonna start with the shimmers because that is what the Ethereal Eyes palette is known for. And I'll be honest, I noticed a difference right away. You can just tell when I swatched the original palette in comparison to the Nature palette second. The speckles of glitter are just so much prettier. The Nature palette shimmers have a lot more of a metallic satin look, whereas the ones in the original palette have that really fine glitter that twinkles in the light and just shows up so much better in these swatches. And here are the final swatches for the shades that look the most similar in the two palettes.
Okay, so she's talking about how the shimmers feel different and they look different. Personally, I did do a side-by-side swatch of both of the palettes, and for me, if I were to close my eyes and swatch the sparkles or the shimmers, they honestly feel the same to me. However, I will say that swatch side by side, they do look different. They feel the same to me, but they look different. And I think the reason why is because the first palette has less pigmentation behind the shimmers, whereas the Nature palette has a lot more pigmentation. It's still more sheer of a pigmented eyeshadow, you know what I'm saying? But they have more pigment than the originals did. I don't know why they're not releasing that original palette. My thought process is that the palette now, with our economy now, with the tariffs and everything that happened, like all the craziness that happened, they had to pivot with the formulas and the textures and the products or the ingredients that they use to make these eyeshadow palettes. I think that maybe they had to go in with a more cost-effective formulation. Maybe that's the reason why. I just don't think that they want to share why, because maybe they do plan on re-releasing the original in the future and they don't want to, you know, put a statement out or whatever and have to go back on it. That's just my thought. That's my theory. Now, I will say that with all of the things being said about how this just doesn't deliver, it's not as good, I have personally made some content on this eyeshadow palette. I've made short content. I've made a long form video about this. I've seen people say that they really like this eyeshadow palette specifically because they wanted something more subtle. A lot of people have commented saying they prefer something less metallic, less extreme glitter for their more maturing eyelids, or people that have more texture on their eyelids, you know, something that is super glittery just won't look as good on them in their opinions, and having something a little bit more toned down while not being just like a regular matte or regular satin is a really nice change for them. And I totally get that. I think that every product is meant or intended for a specific person. However, I will say, I don't think that they intended this to be so obviously different from the original. I think a lot of people were hoping to grab this and get that same experience from the original palette that they either missed out on or they just simply can't purchase again in the future. So where is this product now? So I think overall there was so much discourse around this, and I think it's still like that. Obviously this pretty much for all intents and purposes just released like very recently. I think people had a specific expectation and it really missed the mark because of that. I think if it was a standalone eyeshadow palette, maybe it would have been fine, but even at the same time, I do feel like it felt like such a basic palette for such an expensive price tag. But with that being said, I do still have my palette. I still reach for mine. I actually have it on my eyes today because of this video. I do think I'm also in the camp where I wish it was a little bit more similar to the original palette when it comes to the shimmers. Like I wish that they threw in a couple more baseless shimmers than like the more pigmented ones. All right, so because I don't have a release for December, I decided to do a second product for October, and I thought it was really fitting because it's another eyeshadow palette, and this one is Danessa Myricks Lightwork 7 palette. She comes out with a Lightwork palette every year at the end of the year. It's pretty much an extension of last year's palette, and this is another one where I feel like this palette gained organic virality for the right reasons. So let's take a look at this one.
This might be exclusive to you. I haven't seen anyone else post this. Danessa Myricks sent me the new Lightwork 7 palette. I got exclusive permission from Danessa herself to show this. Here is Lightwork 7. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first Lightwork palette to ever have mattes in it. The rest of the palette is those insane metallics and chromes that we're used to seeing from Danessa. This is my personal favorite shade. Are we serious?
So pretty.
I chose a really fucking stupid spot to do this. That's the top 2 sections. Let's do this one over. Apparently, I'm literally the worst at swatching on the fucking planet. If you've ever touched a Danessa palette, you just know. I'm gonna take this clean thumb. I'm gonna barely touch this, and it's gonna be insane. Ready? If you didn't know, it's not just the actual shades that are amazing, but the innovation of the packaging. Palette.
Okay, so this is where I was talking about the freedom system that she introduced last year with last year's Lightwork palette. She did the same thing here.
Magnetic lid. Top of the lid, we have this. The nameplate here comes off. It's a mirror. And what you can do is take the small palettes out of the bigger palette. Pop this on here as a lid. You have a mini palette. You can even stack them all up like this. Make an eyeshadow sandwich. Look at this one right here. It's cranberry. Now it's purple. Cranberry, purple. Also, of course, the individual shades are interchangeable. Nobody is innovating like Danessa Myricks, and on top of that, she is genuinely the nicest person in the actual world and universe.
Okay, so that was the very first video I saw, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sold. She talked about it so excited, and I feel like she was genuinely excited for this. So let's look at the innovation and the quality of these.
Look at this pigment. Danessa Myricks, you did that. I feel like the camera isn't even doing it justice, just how pretty this is. This is Lightwork Volume 7. Let me just show you how pigmented this is. It doesn't stop there. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so she talks about the system again because I mean, it's worth talking about, you know, it's so handy, it's so thought out. But people in the comments were saying like $128, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I think as a collector and as someone that does this for a job, I could kind of justify it a little bit more, but even then I'm like, that's a lot of money, you know? So it begs the question, while this is even more expensive than the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes one, why were people still going crazy and going out and purchasing this? Well, there's a lot of reasons, in my opinion, why this was happening. Lightwork 6 killed it with the innovation and the quality, and people were expecting that with this one, the same way they were expecting that with the Ethereal Eyes series. And this quality, unlike that one, really, really delivered. Danessa herself did say that these palettes, the 6 and the 7, are meant to be used together. And again, she came back with this crazy cool, innovative packaging that I just think none of us are over it yet. And kind of going back to what I was saying, not saying that this was a determining factor or even a factor at all, but I think it is worth noting that it came right after or around the Makeup by Mario Nature palette. And it was a complete 180 in terms of quality, in terms of how intense the shimmers were, how intense the color was. It was more interesting, and it was a part of an eyeshadow collection that delivered that same wow factor. Makeup by Mario and Danessa Myricks are completely different brands, so don't get me wrong. I don't expect Makeup by Mario to be coming out with Danessa stuff and vice versa, but I do think when it comes to expectations, simply put, Danessa delivered, and I don't think that the Ethereal eyes from Makeup by Mario did in this case. Another thing that I think played into it is that there is so much variety with this palette. You could do pops of color, you could layer them, or you could wear a one and done eyeshadow within this eyeshadow palette, and the only complaint was the price from what I saw, which isn't a small thing. Like I mentioned, that is not a small price tag. I do think that it was nice because they did release this in time for the Sephora sale, and they included it in the Black Friday Cyber Monday sales on their site. Last year they did not do that, but this year they did. And then on top of that, they re-released the Lightwork 6 palette at a 20% off discount as well. While it's still a really expensive palette, I do think that it serves as something that's different from everything else at Sephora. Okay, so where are these products now? These are still being raved about, you guys. People are still gagged by these. Granted, it basically just came out, so of course people are going to continue to talk about them and still talk about them. Danessa Myricks has restocked it several times on Sephora and their site. I think currently it's sold out at Sephora, and I think it just sold out on their site, and it seems like they're trying to keep up with the demand. I don't think that this is a scarcity tactic. I could be wrong though, because it is limited edition, but I don't think it was intentional. I really think that people are just excited about this launch, and I still see videos popping up. I've seen it in best of 2025 videos. I'm still seeing short form content about this. It's just a really exciting, really eye-catching palette. And the last launch that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about this for a specific reason, it's going to be the Maybelline Cloudtopias. The first couple videos I am going to show you guys, they are sponsored, which is important to my point here. The reason these feel viral is because Maybelline threw a lot of money at this campaign. So while it may not be organic virality, this is an interesting case study for the behind the scenes of how things sometimes go viral now in this day and age. Let's just get into these videos, and I want you to pay attention to the verbiage. I want you to pay attention to how these videos are kind of set up.
I'm partnering with Maybelline to show you their brand new Cloudtopia lip and cheek mousse that you're not going to find anywhere except for TikTok Shop. They come in 10 beautiful blurry matte buildable shades. I'm going to use the shade Toasted Sky. They have a creamy matte mousse formula. I'm just going to tap it out with my finger. Look at that blurred matte finish. These are very buildable, and a little bit goes a long way. You're also able to use these on your lips. This is the shade Solar Serenity. Already loving the blurry finish. You're also getting up to 14 hours of wear. These are only available right now on TikTok Shop. So if you're seeing this, add it to cart now.
As you can see, it says Maybelline partner right there, and she had a bunch of talking points. Now let's compare it to this next video, which is also a sponsored video.
Maybelline has a new drop, and it is their Cloudtopia, which is a cheek and lip mousse. Apply it with your finger for a super nice blurred quick application. You see how easy that was to blend with your finger, and these are also buildable. Okay, so I'm going to add some more since this is buildable. Look how easy that is to layer. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this shade. Really soft texture. It also blurs the lips. It just brings so much life to the face. 14-hour wear. This is currently a TikTok Shop exclusive and also free shipping, so snag your colors while you can.
Okay, let's watch another one. I really want to drive this point home for you guys.
Maybelline sent me their new Cloudtopia Chicken Lip Mousse. Of course, exclusive on TikTok Shop. There are 10 beautiful shades, and these are highly pigmented and blurred matte formula. Apparently, it feels soft like clouds, so I have to touch it. Oh my god, this is insane. This is the shade I'm going to use is this Dreamy Dawn, and it will blend beautifully on your cheeks and on your lips. So let's see that. Gorgeous. I mean, you can wear it sheer for a natural tint, or you can build it up for the...
Did anyone else catch that? She said like this is her first time touching them, and then she also claimed this is gonna build and blur your cheeks before she even put it on her cheeks. Interesting. Not saying she was lying, but I'm saying that this was a sponsored video. So they're definitely getting prompts for these things.
This mattifies my texture. I love it. By the way, it will last up to 14 hours.
So as you guys saw, so many similarities when it came to these partnership videos. And that's very, very common when it comes to a campaign. Everyone gets the same campaign brief. And for the most part, you like try to hit the bullet points, either the ones that they want you to talk about or the ones that they request or highly encourage you to talk about. And a lot of the talking points here you could see was buildable, blurring, exclusively on TikTok Shop. They showed it both on the cheeks and the lips. For the most part, everyone put it on with their fingers. Don't get me wrong, I have done partnerships. I have partnered with brands that I really enjoy and products that I really like as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing partnerships and campaigns and stuff, but my point in adding this into the video is essentially to let you guys see behind the scenes how brands kind of control that narrative before it really does hit the masses. So as you saw, this was exclusive on TikTok Shop. So they had the hype going before this even hit the stores. So this is a really good example of how brands create virality. They have essentially engineered the virality before it even is viral. Let's watch a couple of videos after this did hit the stores and people were trying it, actually trying it. Then we were starting to see the real reviews, and not saying that the Maybelline Cloudtopias didn't need the partnership aspect of it. I think that always is helpful because they know kind of where the narrative is going to be if they want it to go a certain way. But I do think that these products are really good, and we'll see it here with these videos that I pulled. So this first one kind of touches on the nostalgia aspect of it.
We've got a new blush at the drugstore. These are from Maybelline, the Cloudtopia blushes. I picked up 2 shades. Number 12, Toasted Sky. And this is number 9, Dreamy Dawn. It says right on the front that it's a lip and cheek mousse, so I'm honestly kind of wondering, like, is this going to be like Dream Matte Mousse?
I don't know if you guys remember Dream Matte Mousse, but they came out with a foundation, a concealer, and blushes, and I think maybe a bronzer as well, but it was essentially like a moussey texture cream product, and they got rid of it a long time ago, but it was a lot of people's favorite products, and this one is getting compared a lot to the Dream Matte Mousse blushes. Dream Matte Mousse blushes.
Toasted Sky. This one's Dreamy Dawn. There's Toasted Sky. So that was the color on top of bronzer. I'm just gonna put a little bit of foundation down so you can see the color without bronzer. I'm gonna pick it up on the brush and then stipple it onto the back of my hand. That's what that's looking like. A little bit more intense than I was anticipating, but that's really pretty.
So in the comments, people are saying, OMG, a Maybelline mousse, we're back. Someone said, I bought Toasted Sky and I love it. Someone said Maybelline is the best drugstore brand, I swear. Ooh, I like how blurring it is. So far, you know, in these comments, people are really excited about it. And specifically the Dream Matte Mousse, like parallel to it, is very exciting. And also, more recently, it's like the Fui pudding pots. It's very similar to the Fui pudding pots in the way that they wear, in the way that they last on the skin, the texture of them. They're so similar in my opinion. They're long lasting as well. So this was always kind of like geared to be a popular product because I feel like Maybelline really had an idea of like the beauty climate and what people were wanting and, you know, what people were missing as well. So it mixed nostalgia with more modern trends, I guess you could say. And that was our entire recap of viral releases from every month except for December of this year. There was a lot of releases, like way more releases than just the ones we talked about, but I did want to like spotlight these ones for you guys. At the end of the day, after putting this entire video together and really looking at all of the releases and all of the reasons why things either went viral or became very controversial, a lot of discourse happened, I think, when people tried products they don't normally go for, simply because it was what was new and what was being talked about. And don't get me wrong, I did this too. I am also part of this. I'm also part of the problem. It is really honestly my job to test these things out and let you guys know, okay, this product has these claims, this is what actually happens with it, and then I hope that you guys kind of decide for yourself if it's going to work for you or if it's not. I feel like I would much rather be the messenger versus letting you guys spend your money on something that is just not going to work for you. It felt like kind of like a social experiment, like looking at why things went viral and if they organically went viral or if they were engineered to become viral. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and our last video like I mentioned. I will leave part 1 for you guys here in case you missed that video, but until next time you guys, I hope that you take care of yourselves and I will see you very soon. Bye!